Hi, I'm Barry Sahazian, and this video is about shapes and pivots on the bass fretboard horizontal lines. I suppose most people have been at this point where you want to get away from just that one shape here on the fretboard and move around a little bit, but it's difficult and you get very accustomed to playing this and functioning, doing a lot of the things, major and minor triads and scales, but moving up the fretboard is a challenge. I approached this challenge in 1980 and I came up with a system that really works, and I've been developing it all of this time up until today. So I have a lot of thoughts on this and a lot of material. I basically boiled it down to 3 shapes for every minor triad, major triad, dominant 7th, major 7th. Let me explain a little about my system, and I'm going to go in C. So here's the 3 shapes I'm using on this system, and that's all I use going up the neck, as well as pivoting and making the lines a little creative. You've got to repeat notes like the octave or the third to make it sound more musical. At this point, I'm going to go over the technique just a little more, and then I'm going to go into the creative side of it as I did in the introduction. I'll show you how to make them work for you musically. So we're going to take the first 2 shapes out of 3, and I'll show you how I approach these. That's pretty straight ahead. The major triad played in the most common position. Now we go and we play the triad with a stretch or a pivot. First I'll show you the stretch. The stretch would simply be stretching from the 1st fret to the 7th fret. Now that may not be so comfortable for a lot of players, so I have another way to do that. So we would just move the whole position, play, and then. So there's a less of an economy of motion in that, because you have to have this movement you have to make, as opposed to the stretch. Now once we reach that point, we are technically in 5th position, and we can play the C in position right there, like this. Baby finger on 8, and then 3rd finger on 7, fret 7, and then index on fret 5. So far we have at this point we have this type of a pivot where we go from the 4th finger to the 1st finger to start all over again, with the first shape starting on the 8th fret. So we're here in the 5th position, and from there the fingering goes from 4, and then you squeeze up a little bit and you go to 1, your 1st finger on the 7th fret. Then you have the option of opening your hand up to be in position to play the 1st shape again. There's your pivot. And as you can see, there's a minimal amount of movement there to gain 4 more frets. Then we play that 2nd shape again from here. And from there, we have to make a change and go up an octave and to start over again if we want to continue on. The 1st shape on the 10th fret, and playing the conventional way of playing a major triad. Then we go to the 2nd shape again, and once again you have an option to play it with the pivot or a stretch. I kind of favor the stretch because it's better economy of motion. Right now I'm going to break down that line I did in the introduction, and I want to point out it is nothing but a C major triad, C, E, and G. I will analyze it, where the notes are and what I'm doing. I'm going to break it down 2 beats at a time, so you can take each section or any part of a section and emulate to your own creative lines. So 1 and 2 and, that would be 1, 3, 5, 1. And then we'll go into the next 2 beats of the 1st measure, and that will be 3 and 4 and. That will be the 3rd degree, the root, the 3rd degree, and the 5th. Now we play them both together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now we're on on to the second measure, first 2 beats, and 2, and then the second 2 beats of the second measure. First 2 beats of the last measure. We're starting from the 5th of the 3rd shape. First 4 notes sound like this. That would be a 5, 1, 3, 5. Right now, we are going to go and use our shift. So I'm right here, and then I go back down to the root with my baby finger and pivot with my index to the 3rd. Pivot. If you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified of the videos yet to come. Go to my Patreon page to get all the study guides, including play-alongs and notes and tabs, and hope to see you again.